Warning, this video contains sexually explicit language, homophobic language, violence, and drug use. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone. I have a special guest with me today by the name of Egypt. Now, me and this guy has been friends for years. I've known him for at least 10 years plus. He's always been a life of the party, always held it down, had many friends. I mean, we go way back. We hung out and had some great memories together. And I was on Facebook one day and I saw that he was telling his story about how he beat addiction. And that compelled me to ask him to tell his story, because one thing we like to do on this platform is we like to help others. If your story can go somewhere and help at least one person, I know we have done our job. So with that being said, just go ahead and introduce yourself, Egypt.
Hey everybody, my name is Egypt. I'm from Detroit, Michigan, but me and Brandy met. Roxy, or Brandy, which one you want me to say?
You can call me Brandy, that's fine. Okay.
Me and Brandy met when I went to Alabama State University in Montgomery, and I was in the marching band, the Marching Hornets. Let me see, I sing, I play trombone, I dance a little bit, all those good things, but me and Brandy was known for being the life of the party wherever we went in Montgomery. Everybody was requesting that we be at every spot in every situation. We was in the midst of somewhere.
No doubt.
But, we all eventually grow up and we all go our separate ways and life happens. And, what I'm saying? I think that's what happened in the last, 15 years.
15 years, yeah.
It's been
a while. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, we always held each other down. We were like family. Mm-hmm. We had a really big family.
We did.
When we were living in Montgomery, and we had some of the best times you could ever imagine. So, so you went back to Detroit.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about what happened and how did this even get started?
Okay, I'm gonna try to keep it short for y'all, or I may not be able to, but we'll just take it one step at a time.
Do what you got to do. You're not on a time schedule here.
Okay, cool. So, first I went to Orlando. I left Montgomery and went to Orlando. In Montgomery, me and my roommates weren't really getting along, and I decided to move on. You know what I'm saying? I decided that I had gone as far as I can go. So I thought in Montgomery, and my mom suggested that I move to Florida. Now my dad is in Detroit, but my mom's in Florida. So I came to Florida, and I got into this relationship, right? Mm-hmm. The relationship was so serious, guys, that we moved in together, and we were together for 4 years. And I've always been a relationship-oriented kind of person. So everything was going great. I mean, I'm talking, we had date nights. I mean, we had the household marriage thing going on, and everything was great. Until eventually one day, I picked up that phone of his, and I saw that he was entertaining other people via social media. Mm-hmm. Now, I really didn't have any proof that anything actually happened sexual-wise, but, my heart was broken because I don't cheat. You know what I'm saying? I don't do stuff like that. And I had no idea, no suspicions that anything, I'm talking about 3-4 years, that anything was ever going on. And I decided to stay in the relationship anyway, but now because the trust was broken, I became the toxic person, because everything he did from that point on, every little move he made, I was accusing.
Yes.
So even though I said, I forgive you, my actions didn't show that. And so eventually he got tired of me, and then we ended up separating and breaking up. When that happened, because I made him the center of my world, I didn't remember how to survive when we broke up without him.
It happens.
And I was broken. Broken. I had never, ever in my life felt that broken over anybody else besides this one situation. I've never felt nothing like that in my life. I was gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was making a lot of money because in Orlando, being a server and a bartender in Orlando, at restaurants or clubs, you make so much money.
Yeah. I can
So
imagine.
yeah, I mean it's crazy. And with personalities like me and you know how much money we made in Montgomery doing that.
Exactly.
Girl, if you come to Orlando, you're gonna own it. I'm
Oh,
telling you. I'm talking about coins. I'm not serving right now, but we'll get back into that later.
yeah, most definitely.
So when he left, I was like, okay, I don't want to be bothered with my family. I don't want to be bothered with anybody. So I decided to move into hotels, and I was living from hotel to hotel every night because I was making that much money that, you know what I'm saying, I could do that. I just didn't want to have my own place anymore. I just didn't want to, everything reminded me of him a little bit for some reason.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to be a hoe like everybody else is. If you can't beat them, join them. The only problem with that is that I was so relationship oriented that I didn't know how to just randomly go around sleeping with different people and not feeling guilty about it.
Exactly.
And so I was hanging with the wrong groups of people. And I was just trying on groups of people like it was underwear. I was just trying on different groups, living in a hotel, thinking I was balling out because I can afford a different hotel every night. I thought that, can I cuss here?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to cuss? Okay. I thought I was the shit. So I was like, okay, I'm doing the damn thing. I'm drinking. I got a hotel room every night at different hotels. I'm the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I just won't tell nobody that I don't have no place to stay when they say, where's your real house at? I'm just going to say, oh, I'm visiting. Technically, I'm not from Orlando, right? So I can say I'm visiting.
Okay.
So I got introduced to cocaine first.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Before my drug of choice. And cocaine just made me want to party more. It made me want to club hop more. It didn't really want to help me to be a hoe or sleep around. I just wanted to talk your ear off and then go to the next club.
Yeah.
So cocaine just reminded me of like popping, what they used to call that back in the day. X pill. That's what cocaine reminded me of. You know what I'm saying? Just sniffing X pills the entire night. And so that didn't help me with my quest to be a hodo. You know what I'm saying? And I met the wrong person the wrong night at a sexual encounter. And to help me loosen up, they introduced me to what they call crystal meth or they call it tea or Tina or ice.
Oh, wow.
Crystal meth. And how he pitched it to me was, this is a sexual drug. It stimulates your sex drive. It takes it to a whole nother level to where you can let your guard down a little bit. I said, okay. So me being an overachiever that I am, I Googled and looked it up first. And I saw that if you smoke it, over time, it causes your teeth to fall out. I said, that's not going to be my story.
Right.
He pulled out, he said, okay, he said, I got the perfect solution for that. And he pulls out a syringe. Now, when I think of syringes, the first thing I think about is heroin use. You know what I'm saying? Where you nod it out. And I was like, I've seen people. I heard that's a coin toss. You could die from that. He's like, but this is not heroin. This is the sex drug I told you about. And he put that in my arm, and the rest was history. I think I ended up becoming the godfather of being a hoe. I was instantly hooked. I didn't drink no more. I didn't do coke no more. I didn't do anything else but crystal meth, and I became the hoe of Babylon. I became one of the elder gods of hoism. I rewrote the whole book of being a hoe.
Really? That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable because I've known you. We've hung out. And you have always been in a relationship.
So it was new for me.
You just would meet people, okay, but that would be that. I mean, that's why it's like, wow, to hear you say it. So,
if y'all were to put a gun in my head and say, how many sex partners have you had? I would not be able to say. You might as well pull the trigger. Just pull it, because I ain't gonna even try to gather or collect that information. Right. That's how beaten this drug had me. So now I have a new addiction. Go ahead.
Let me ask you this right quick. So, like you said, you were instantly hooked. Did it give you the feeling that you were looking for? Did it make you forget?
That and more. I completely let my morals completely went out the back door.
Okay.
I didn't care anymore. And that was the thing. I didn't care about who I was sleeping around with or how many people. I didn't even care. It got me so gone that I didn't even care about protection anymore.
Oh, wow.
That's coming up. We finna talk about it. It's coming up. It's a part of the story, so we're gonna keep going.
All right.
Let me know when you're ready for me to keep going.
That's what's up.
You want me to go now?
Go ahead.
Keep going now? Or you got some questions?
No,
okay.
You go ahead.
So everything that I said I would never do or I would never be like, it ended up happening. They say this, what we have is a disease called addiction, right? It's a disease, it's a mind disease. And just to break that down so you can understand real quick, you know how your body cannot survive without food, right? Let's say 4 days goes by, your body goes into panic mode, right?
Right.
It goes into survival mode. You know what I'm saying? Where after let's say you haven't eaten or drunk anything in a week, you go into survival mode. You'll do any and everything to get some kind of nourishment. You know what I'm saying? You go into survival mode. You might steal. You won't do something to get some food in your system. That's right. After using drugs for a period of time, whatever your drug of choice may be, because eventually it takes you there. You know what I'm saying? What your mind, your brain does, it switches. The survival, the most important thing, your mind now becomes the drug of choice. So screw food, screw nourishment, the drug becomes the most important thing. So now when you cross that invisible line of being hooked, you know what I'm saying? Now without it, your body panics. Your body goes into survival mode. And that's why you see when they call us crackheads, meth heads, coke heads, doing anything and everything to get that drug again, it does it. You know what I'm saying? You become not yourself anymore. So I would look at other.
I have a question before you continue. So were you still working? Were you still in making your money and
my family, what happened was my mom's side of the family found out about me doing meth because I looked at it like this. They was all smoking weed, drinking their liquor, and you even had a couple of the cokeheads on their side, on my mom's side of the family. And that was deemed as normal. It was normal. Nobody had a problem with what they were doing. So because they were doing their things too, different family members, different, you know what I'm saying, whoever was doing whatever they were doing, they were so comfortable saying that out loud that I figured I can just say, well, hey, guess what I do? I do crystal meth. And then they were like, they do their thing, I do my thing. You know what I'm saying? But when they found out that I was using syringes and they took it to a whole other level and they started having these interventions and I was the only one that needed help out of the bunch. So that made me resent them. You know what I'm saying? Now I know now that they just cared, but it made me resent them. So I dipped and I left and went back to Detroit. Why did I do that? I don't know if y'all know about Detroit, but Detroit is the hood of the hood of the hood. Yeah. We invented the hood. Yeah. And I went back to Detroit. Let me tell you, just because you change places does not mean you won't see the same kind of people there. I met the same kind of crystal meth heads that you know what I'm saying, if not worse. I met the kingpins that said the people who sell to the dealers. I was sleeping with them. Wow. Everything I said I would not do, I was doing. I said I wouldn't steal from my family. I moved in with my grandma. I was so gone and so wanted to do this so much that I was waiting till she would go to sleep. I would steal her brand new car. I would be gone for days. I would take money out of her purse. I sold her for her beautiful fur coats, you know what I'm saying, and lied and said somebody broke into the house and stole them from my room upstairs. You name it, I did it. You know what I'm saying? And whenever anybody would try to stop me from partying, you know what I'm saying, I felt like they were attacking me, teaming up on me. They don't want me to have fun. Can't they just see I'm just having fun? I'm not addicted to this. It's just what I do for fun. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so one question. Did you feel addicted at that point in time?
In the back of my mind, I knew, but denial is a strong, strong, strong force of evil. I knew in the back of my head, but I would tell myself anything to keep going. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's where things start falling apart. So 9 whole years, y'all, of using meth. What Roxy tell y'all, when she knew me, when we still know each other, excuse me, when we were hanging, I was about 250, 260 in weight. Oh,
yeah, most definitely.
I was always a thick kind of dude. As y'all can see, I'm slim now, but that's because I'm a gym head now. But I went from 260 to 120. I
Wow.
look like a walking skeleton. But in my mind, just that denial thing, I was like, I look damn good. I always wanted to be this size right here. So that just added fuel to my bullshit. You know, so the bullshit that I tell myself to keep going.
Yeah.
And so everything started catching up with me. That 7th year, everything started catching up to me. And I couldn't get rid of this cold. And my grandma was like, after forgiving me 1,000 times for doing 1,000 things to her, you know what I'm saying? I started becoming angry. I noticed that. I was angry with all the time. You know what I'm saying? My mood was changing because I felt like nobody would just leave me alone and let me be on my own devices. You know what I'm saying? Why couldn't they just let me get high in peace was my question I was asking. Yeah. And I had this really bad cold. Now, keep in mind, I've slept with thousands of people. Maybe thousands is an over-exaggeration. But like I said, I can't tell you the number because the drug had me so gone, y'all. Wait, before I say that, things that you say you would never do. Roxy, you know me, when we were hanging out, I was always, in the gay terms, the top, right?
Yes.
I said I would never be nobody's bottom. When I was doing this drug, y'all, I was a bottom, top, verse, upside down, splits. You know what I'm saying? You had the drug. Okay, let's go. You could do whatever you want to my body as long as you got that drug and that syringe in your hand. We can go. Let's go.
Wow.
Let's go. I was gone. So I had this cough, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't weed. And I have, you know, Roxy, I have year-round sinuses. So do you. You know what I'm saying? And so we're always sneezing it up or got some kind of cold. And my grandma was like, you've been coughing for like a week straight. I think we should take you to the hospital. And I was thinking, here this old bitch go again. Grandma, you know I love you. I was like,
Grandma, we love you, Grandma.
I love you, Grandma. You know I love you. But this is when I was in my addiction, Grandma. Not now. Yeah. Like, I was like, here this old bitch go again, trying to stop my damn party. She know I'm finna go out. And she talking about some going to the long ass emergency room so they can keep me for hours. Oh hell, still don't know. And so I was like, no, it's good. It's just the cold. She was like, we're going. I was like, motherfucker, damn it. You know what I'm saying? I was pissed. We get to that hospital. Yeah. They doing their test. I'm like, okay, they're gonna tell me nothing's wrong, so she can feel stupid. And, you know what I'm saying? I can hurry up. And I ain't even riding back with her. I'm gonna tell whoever I'm fucking tonight, just pick me up. Yeah, the emergency room. That's how serious it was to me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That doctor come out that room and he's like, you've got double pneumonia, and we ain't letting you go nowhere. And he's like, and because of that, you know what I'm saying, you being a gay male. Now, how, you know what I'm saying, what kind of stereotype is this, though? He was right, but I was thinking this in my head. Because of that fact, we had to test you for HIV.
Mm.
So I was like,
that's the stereotype. You know that is.
Right. I was like, oh, shit.
For females
yeah. Really? I was like, okay, the shit's about to hit the fan. I know. I know for a fact. Now, this was a reality check, y'all. Let me tell you, this is how you're going to know that I was so gone. I knew for a fact that I had been sharing dirty needles, number one. I know for a fact that I've had multiple sex partners with no protection. I was like, man, it gotta be. It's no way I cannot not have HIV. You know what I'm saying? I just haven't been given a fuck for 9 years. You know what I'm saying? He's gotta come. So when he came back and he said, you are HIV positive, we gotta lock you down. You can't go nowhere for like a week and a half. You know what I'm saying? Because your numbers are through the roof. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just haven't been to get a checkup in like years, huh? I was like, yeah, that's about right.
And by God's grace, that you were not dead.
Yeah, exactly. He said, now one thing about me, I have never been ashamed to say what I'm doing. But he said, so what have you been doing? I said, I use crystal meth. I use the needle. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to find no vein when you try to draw blood. You might as well go to the legs because the arms are fucked. I keep it all the way real with the doctors. You know what I'm saying? When I finally go see it. Well, today I go on the regular. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good
so he's like, you are HIV positive. You know what I'm saying? But you're not beyond saving. Wow. We can start shooting the medicine up in your veins now, and we can get you. I mean, luckily, the double pneumonia is not related to HIV. You just caught double pneumonia because you've been using too much drugs and your immune system is down.
Yeah.
So it wasn't related to HIV. That's where it becomes deadly, where you're so sick that it's a form of that it's directly related to HIV, and it usually takes you up out of there. I didn't have that one. I just had pneumonia.
Right.
That's just cool. That was the grace of God. I can always say, y'all, God has always been saving and shaping and paving some kind of way for me, because they gave me the medicine and I automatically went to undetectable. Now, I don't know if you guys know what undetectable is. It means that if you take, well, today it means if you take one pill per day, it goes down so small that it can't even be traced in tests. You can't even transmit it to anybody. And if you want to, if you're a gay guy, I'm never going to do this. You can have a kid. That's not going to happen for me. But, because I'm not going to go with a girl. So that's just...
So
you know what I'm saying? I spoil my nieces and nephews. They got my sisters and brothers got enough kids for me, baby. I just pretend they mine and take pictures with them and say it's my kids. But they were able to. They healed me up real quick in a week, and you would think that would stop me from and tell me let's get some help. But my disease told me, good. Now you've got an excuse to use more. You're about to die anyway. You might as well go out with a bang. And I went right back to shooting dope up again, y'all.
Wow. Really?
Yeah. Went right back. If not worse. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I got an excuse now. So now when my mom called me from Florida, when my sisters called me from Florida, when my brothers, my dad, who is the chief of police in Detroit, whenever they call me, I have an excuse now. I have HIV. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm using. So any excuse will do. Any excuse to keep using will do. We'll use anything. We'll pull anything out the hat to keep using, to keep doing what we ain't got no business doing in the first place. And that was my ticket. HIV was my golden ticket. I said, now these motherfuckers can get off my back and I can use a piece.
Baby, you is still funny as baby.
So I got into, you know how my temper used to be. Now that some things don't change. Well, it's changed now, 2 years later. 2 years of being clean. I've done a 180, but I got into a fight in Detroit over drugs and sex. I think he gave me some drugs and I didn't want to have sex with him because he was a little bit too ugly. I just couldn't fathom. There wasn't no drugs in the world that would make me, I was like, oh my God, you like Jabba the Hutt off of Star Trek. I just couldn't. And I was like, you gotta give me like a triple shot for this, honey, so you can look like Brad Pitt or some shit or something. Put extra in the needle or something. But we got to a fight. And I dipped and I left this house and I snatched the drugs. Running.
Baby, you done ran off on the plug.
Yeah. And it was raining and my high ass is running over a bridge. I don't even know why I was on this bridge. And I slipped and fell down the bridge down to the freeway and broke my motherfucking ankle.
Oh my God.
High shit. Back in the hospital, and my mom coming from Florida is like, okay, you gotta come here and get some help. You gotta come back to Florida. Because Detroit, you know everybody.
That was God slowing you down, baby. Because baby, somebody's praying for you. Somebody's praying for you. And they still believe that you could change. Baby, that wasn't nobody God slowing you down.
Mm-hmm. Well, y'all, I like to say that, I did go back to Florida, and I would like to say I got help immediately when I got here. But my mom, I was staying with her and I started going to Narcotics Anonymous on a regular because they didn't have beds in the rehab yet. And I had to wait. And so to keep me at bay, I would go to the Narcotics Anonymous meetings every day so I can get my mind wrapped around how these people that are just like me have all this joy, have all this peace, and they're laughing about their past experiences. What the fuck? Are y'all high right now? Because y'all seem a little bit too joyful up in here in Narcotics Anonymous. And I wanted what they had, right? But my mom she's a nitpicker and she's a clean freak, and I'm living in her house. And I didn't plan on living there. I just wanted to go to rehab and then get my own plan. I have our own plan. But God, when I tell you, God to put a wrench in your plans. Sometimes your plans are not his plans. Yes. So I'm staying with her, but she's nitpicking about stupid stuff that in my mind is stupid. She, first of all, I'm trying to wrap my head around going to get help. And she's like trying to stop me from vaping. It was just too much. I was like, I fuck this. And I went back out and relapsed and then started using in Florida. Started my career back up in Florida for a full year. You got to be careful when people... When you have family guys who are active addicts, you got to be careful around the, the eggshells. You got to walk around them. Let the rehab, the rehabs was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. Let the rehabs do what the rehabs is going to do, which is their job. Because you're never, ever, ever going to be able to stop a person from doing what they want to do. They have to want to stop. It's like beating a dead horse. It's no way. You can't stop. Nobody could have stopped me until I was ready.
That's right.
So what made me stop was I started hallucinating. Now I can deal with all the shady people. I can deal with all the ugly people. I can deal with my family not talking to me. I can deal with them putting me out, because the last year they put me out and I was homeless in Orlando. Walking around here, I was talking to myself like y'all know, you see the homeless people crazy and they be talking to themselves in a whole other world. That was me 2 years and 2 months ago.
That's hard.
I can deal with all of that, huh?
That's hard to imagine knowing you.
Yeah, and like 120, $120. I can deal with all of that, but what I couldn't deal with was, I can deal with going down to animalistic living situations, because I'm in and out of the bandos. I'm sleeping around outside on benches. I'm talking to myself. But I know if I go to McDonald's and clean up real quick and get cute, they still want me for my body. You know what I'm saying? So I can still go sleep with any low life. You know what I'm saying? I'm meth head. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt. And I was happy being homeless, because I'm like, now I finally have peace and I can use without them all being on my back, my family. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. It's insanity, right?
Right.
What made me throw in the towel with using was the hallucination started. And usually you hallucinate for a little bit and then it wears off as you sober up, or, you know what I'm saying, you go a few days without using it wears off. Mm-hmm. But it became continuous and it didn't stop. And that scared me. That's when I finally called my mom and was like, okay, I think the whole world is after me. Everybody's trying to kill me. Everywhere I turn around, I had like 3 switchblades in each hand. I would be walking down the street like I was Wolverine or somebody. That's how crazy and gone I was, because I thought everybody was after me. Everybody was trying to kill me. Everybody. And I thought everybody was in on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even want to call my mom, because I thought she was in on it too. I was like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to come in with you, bitch, because I was going to slice and dice your ass too. Anybody can get these dicing right now, honey, at this point. Wow. And so she's like, okay, you're almost gone. You should just go to a hospital and say you want to commit suicide. I did that, and that was the last night I ever used in my entire life. That was the last time I ever used drugs, guys.
Wow. Listen, that I'm still a little trying to wrap the story around my mind, because I knew you. We hung out so much that like you said, we still know each other, but when we were like really, really, truly hanging out, like that is so far. You have always been clean cut, always been one of those people that I know walk with their head up and their chest out, because you got it going on.
Yeah.
So yes, it's hard to believe. So that further lets me know that addiction is definitely real.
Yeah, it's real.
Definitely.
And it can happen to anybody. You can blink your eye and it can be you. You never know where life can take you, in the wrong person when life is taking you do what, because life is going to do what it's going to do, whether you on board or not. It's still going to do what it's going to do.
Exactly.
But whatever, so you don't know how vulnerable you are in what situations. Anything that is traumatizing, heartbreak, abuse, you know what I'm saying? You never know in that moment of time what could happen, and then what wrong person can walk into your life when that's going on. You know what I'm saying? People who are addicts are not bad people. They're usually good people who just made a wrong choice at the wrong time. And then they didn't even mean to get stuck there. They got stuck there, and then the drug took off and it took over. You know what I'm saying? You're not you. I wasn't me. Like the me today would never have stolen from my grandma's purse, faked the whole robbery and sold her purse and said somebody broke into the house, stole her car. I can't even fathom stealing out of the Walgreens or the dollar store now. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm not gonna get arrested. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy how you're just not. It's like somebody else is driving the car, but you see everything that's happening, but you have no control. Somebody else is driving. Your body is a car, and somebody else is driving it, but you have no control. You just see everything that's going on. You just going for the ride. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, you know what? I got to say that you are very courageous, and I am so proud of you. And I'm so glad
Mhm.
that you have family members that actually care. I know you gave them hell,
Yeah, I
but
gave him here.
but
You
clearly
know,
they was always just still willing and ready to help you,
yeah.
and like you said, you never know what a person is going through or what has happened to spark them to do some of the things. That's why we should not ever in our life judge people for the decisions they have made. Let's try to help them
Mhm.
people, because we don't know what they done went through.
What's
Because
going
I
on
know
at
that was
all?
a traumatizing situation for you. I know it was. For you to take that situation and it escalated the way it did, I know it was traumatizing for you. Because
You
heartbreak
know
can
what?
be very
It
traumatizing.
is. It was. And you know what the hard thing is? Okay, this is the thing that I've learned. First of all, I want to say to anybody that's struggling, rehab was the best thing that could have happened to me.
Amen.
I did two back to back because I wanted to make sure that I got this thing right this time. See, what it is we use because we stopped wanting to feel.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't
Yeah.
want to feel nothing no more. Eventually, at first, we tell ourselves this dream that it's fun. We're doing it because it's fun, and you know what I'm saying. But we're running from something that we don't want to feel. It don't matter what drug it is. It can be coke, it can be weed, it can be liquor, it can be meth, it can be heroin, it can be any of those things. Molly, you know what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
we're running from something. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We don't want to feel that. You know what I'm saying? Life on life's terms is tough sometimes.
That's right.
And we say we're just gonna have fun to take the edge off, and then you know what I'm saying, it, like I said, it progresses, and when you cross the invisible line into addiction, you know what I'm saying, it's just hard. So you gotta have compassion for those that you see out there that's struggling like that, because they just made a wrong turn.
True.
And they really not themselves. Rehab was the best thing that happened to me because it retaught me structure. It retaught me how to feel the feelings that I'm going through. It
Yeah.
retaught me how to do little simple stuff like make up my bed and brush my teeth. I let all of those things go. It's crazy how to eat again and gain the weight back. As y'all see, I got the muscle going on
I
now. You know,
see. I see.
you
I
know
see
what
it.
I'm saying?
I see it.
Yeah.
I see
So
it.
it taught me all of those things, how to do a resume again, things that I had lost touch with because my reality had been shaken up for years. I was always intelligent, you know what I'm saying? But I
Yes.
forgot. I
Definitely.
forgot. I had lost all of that. And so,
Wow.
but the thing is, they're tough on you. They're going to make you face what's going on that's making you use. It's not just the heartbreak. What else? What happened to you as a kid?
Yeah.
We're gonna go from the root all the way on up. And
Yes.
you're worth it because it takes you away from the world. They cut you off from the world. You know what I'm saying? And they give you a vacation to where you can focus on you. But they're tough on
Yes.
you though. And that's what you need. You know what I'm saying? If they come in there and say, come in and do whatever you want to do, then we're gonna walk all over them. So
Yeah.
they're not gonna play with us in rehab. But it was the best thing I got. As soon as I got done rehab, I started going to my meetings, y'all. I go to Narcotics Anonymous at least 2-3 times a week. You don't really have to do it that much, but I do it because I like to help other people as well. So when I
Yeah.
see new people coming in, you know what I'm saying, we're like a glimmer of hope now. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Yeah.
you listen to their story, like I was there. You just told my story, new person. You know what I'm saying? And you give back what was so freely given to you. You pull somebody else back up and show them that you can get out of that dark space. Because I did. I was just where you were. You know what I'm saying? And I got out, and you can too. So that's why I go multiple times a week. So I can remind myself, and I can help somebody else. I don't ever want to forget where I came from.
Exactly. Well, that's exactly what I was about to ask you about rehab and how did that help you. So you definitely answered a lot of those questions. But also, when it comes to rehab, how long is a rehab session?
Okay. So you have, you want me to be blatantly honest?
Yes, most
Okay.
definitely.
Being blatantly honest, they have 30-day, they have 60-day, and they have a year. Now, and they have outpatient. To me, just being honest, outpatient means that I'm secretly not ready. I don't want to be locked down in here. You know what I'm saying? So to get my family off my back, I'm gonna go to these little 1 or 2 hour sessions a week, and then saying, and then that to me is what outpatient means. It's no way that if you're fully addicted and you're in full
Yeah.
active addiction, And you
Yeah.
doing shit I was doing, like stealing from your family, stealing cars, going to jail, fighting, sleeping around, sticking needles in your arm. It's no way you
Yeah.
outpatient is going to help you. That's just
Yeah.
a joke,
I
baby.
agree
That's
with you.
just,
I agree.
yeah, it's no way.
I agree.
30 days to me is that's not enough time. You're not going to be cured in no 30 days. You know what I'm saying? To
I
me,
agree.
that's one step from outpatient. What I did was I did a 3-month program first.
Mm-hmm.
That to me broke me down because when I went in the first rehab, I was still trying to fist fight everybody. If I even heard the word faggot, I'm throwing blows, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only gay in there too. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna teach you with this faggot. I'm gonna teach you about faggism, honey, and how we tap that ass still. So I was on that kick. I wasn't really trying to like learn to be clean yet, but they loved on me anyway, and they disciplined me hard. They like, look, we're gonna put your ass up out of here. We're gonna let you slab the first three you got into. The first 3 fights, we're gonna let you slab because we love you like that enough. But listen, you go back to being homeless and hallucinating out there talking to yourself. I was like, oh shit, you're right.
Yeah.
So then I sat down, I started listening in class, and I started not picking out what I wasn't like, but listening to the similarities that was going on around me. And I started trying to tolerate people more. And I was like, well, this is a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Learning to get along with others and learning to release and stop holding grudges when we do get into it, and learning to make amends and make up, become a brotherhood instead of fighting each other. Even if we do, we make up. You know what I'm saying? You're getting better. So after that 3 months, I was like, it's no way I'm ready. Not in 3 months. You know what I'm saying? So I decided to go to another one that was 6 months. Now, keep in mind, don't let these people, people tell you that rehabs cost too much. Rehabs today are free. Free. I didn't pay for either one. The next one I went to was 6 months. It was Salvation Army. If you can never find anybody else that's free, Salvation Army is free. But let me tell you, Salvation Army is military style. You get up when they say get up. It's 6 months. You don't go nowhere till they say you can go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You get smart with them, your bags is getting put out. They're not gonna play with you, but they reteach you and they guarantee you a job with Salvation Army. You know what I'm saying? I made it like 4 months in Salvation Army, but I got into a fight. Then they put me out of there because they felt like I was too ratchet. Look, you would think after 8 months that I would have it by now. But this is my story. When I got put out the second rehab, my disease automatically says, see, you're trying to do the right thing, and the people that's supposed to be helping you is against you. Go get you one. Fuck that. Fuck this process. But I said, nope, trick no good. I went and found me a recovery house. Now, what a recovery house is, guys, is a place that you go to when you're done with rehabs. It's like a real house. You got roommates. And it's like a safe blanket. You know what I'm saying? You got a curfew, but you're free now. You can get a job. And they drug test you every week to make sure you're on the straight and narrow. When you save up enough money, you go get your own place.
Oh, that's
so I did that next. And I stayed there 2 years. And recently, guys, I just moved out and got my own apartment. So 2 years ago, like a month and a half ago, I got my own apartment, so you know what I'm saying? We doing good. It's a couch right now, but you know, so I bought that couch myself for $1,400. So I'm doing good. I'm getting my life back, and it's cool. Right. It's cool. I'm not ashamed about it either. I tell everybody, you know what I'm saying? Life takes everybody different places, different ways.
That's
right. You know what I'm saying? And what happened to me, and it made me who I am today, and it made me a better me. So that's that.
Well, because this is what I see. I see the person that I used to hang with. You are happy. You look healthy. Mm-hmm. You have always been very handsome. You look so good. Like, I would never in my life believe you had ever done a drug. Like, I'm just being serious. So I feel like God had always wanted you to tell the story. God wanted you to help other people. And I know that it was hard and it was a lot going on because we missed some years, like roughly like 10 years. We missed it. Yeah. However, I know life happens. And we always, when we start back talking, honey, it'd be like we just was talking yesterday.
So you know what? It's crazy because I feel like I lost all of y'all when I picked the drugs up. You know what I'm saying? You, my frat brothers in the band, you know what I'm saying? I lost it for all of y'all using drugs, but it's crazy. When I was using, I forgot that I even had friends. You know what I'm saying? I was in a dark world. Yeah. I was in a real dark world, y'all, and I could not get out. No matter how hard I tried, I could not get out. And I was too ashamed to come around y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to see my weight. They're going to see how skinny I am. They're going to see my arms. They're going to see all the holes in my arms. They're going to see me twitching. They're going to see me speed talking. Because one thing that we all, no matter what drug you're on, once you cross addiction, you speed talk. I said, we got all this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
We be gone. I was like, they don't know off rip that I'm using. So there's no way I'm going around my old friends because y'all don't have no kind of know about when it comes to the drug life. So I'm like, they gonna say, how the fuck did you get here? So it was hard to come around y'all and tell y'all what was going on. And so that caused me to drift off even more. Cause I was like, I'm alone. I'm definitely alone. My family don't understand. I know the good friends that I had definitely won't understand, and the church won't understand. They're gonna try to baptize me in a pool of water. You know what I'm saying? So it's no way. Who understands? And then you gravitate to the low lives of it that's also doing the same drugs you're doing, and you just. But it's just no life to live because everybody in the drug world is for themselves, and it's cutthroat. They're all cutthroat. Everybody they will either kill you or they will do the shadiest stuff to you for the next high.
Yes.
It's not, you're never safe in that world. It was the worst experience of my life, but I was fucking. That's what, you know what I'm saying? So I did the one thing I said I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got out of it was fucking. Everything else was misery.
Right. Okay, so listen, like I said, okay, you definitely don't look like you fit the bill of a person that would ever do a drug. So therefore you said it was really relatively easy to get the drug because people wanted you. You're attractive. So what do you have to say to people that are, like yourself, because you know how it is when you're attractive. People will pretty much give you anything.
I got a picture, guys, of, let me tell you, the good looks fade away.
Wow.
Right? They fade away. I got a picture, y'all would not even believe. I look like crackhead Sam, and you were like, that is not you. And I took a 2-year clean picture and I put them next to each other. I'm gonna send it to Roxy. And it's like two different people, but God gave it right back to me when I got clean. You know what I'm saying? My face was sinking. I looked like a Skeletor. You know what I'm saying? It was horrible. I can't even. I look at the picture and I don't even believe that was me.
So what made you take that picture at that point in time? Because I know you said that you.
I thought I was fine. Yeah. You couldn't tell me I wasn't sexy in the picture. In the picture, it was foolish too. It was foolish. I didn't even try to pose. I'm looking like I'm looking high on my mind. It was foolish times 10, and you couldn't tell me I wasn't fine. But see, eventually, I knew that God did not want me in that world because even though I thought I was sexy, everybody desired to have sex with me on every hand and give me drugs for it. Every time I would give in and have sex with these different men, I still didn't feel good about it. I just knew that somewhere in the back of my head, I don't belong in this world. I'm not supposed to be here. Even the people I was using would say, you don't belong here. You're not like us. You know what I'm saying? You got a light around you. And you know what I'm saying? And they would start getting mad and wanting to fight me because I was always still in a good mood. I wasn't miserable like them. I was always laughing and I was trying to befriend other drug addicts. You know what I'm saying? While we're using. I'm like, well, look, we don't have to just fuck. Can we still hang out and be cool and they didn't want no parts of that. They were like, no, we want to fuck me. You get the fuck out. That's all they wanted. I'm like, damn, we can't be friends. We can't be friends. I'm like, damn, these y'all just fuck around. Anyway. And so it was never no making fun. I mean, no friends in the meth world. And I was like, I just don't belong here. But how do I stop though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Not only was shooting dope addiction out, sex became an addiction. So when I went to rehab, they said, well, it looks like you got to give up sex for a little while. I was like, what? But I did. I had no sex for like a year and a half. You know what I'm saying? And you know what's crazy? I got this apartment all by myself. Y'all hear the echo. I'm still furnishing her. You know what I'm saying? Check by check. You know what I'm saying? Got to do a check at a
I ain't
time.
lying.
Baby.
I ain't
A
lying.
check at a time. Uh, and I'm not serving right now because I'm taking it slow. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to jump back into just making troughs of money like that. So I'm taking it slow. You know what I'm saying? And I got this whole apartment to myself, and I still ain't had nobody over here yet. You know what I'm saying? So
that's good.
things
No, I'm
don't
glad.
change because I'm better. I'm better than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can get somebody who actually respects my body, and you know what I'm saying, who's
Yes.
looking for what I'm looking for. And so I'm trying to get back into the Egypt that was relationship oriented. So I chill. I just chill.
And you know what? That's showing a lot of discipline. It's showing that you are
Mm-hmm.
disciplined and you are ready and you want to go in the right direction. You said
Yeah.
something that really make a lot of sense when you said a person that's an addict have to want to get better. And I've
Mm-hmm.
always felt like that because I know family members have chased and chased and chased other family members and they
Oh,
would never come in. They would
let me
go
comment on that
relapse, go
too for
relapse.
you. I put my family through so much heartache because they chased, they screamed, they got mad, they got depressed, they got sad, they were scared I was gonna die.
Yeah.
And it was nothing in my mind, in my sick mind, because we are sick when we're using, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
We don't feel their pain. We feel nothing. And so you're
Yes.
chasing us. And if we're not ready, that's all you're doing is chasing us because we're always going to view you as the enemy. We're going to hurt you. Okay, I want to let you know, I'm going to tell you the truth. We're going to hurt you trying to help us.
Yeah.
The only thing that can bring us out of that is enough pain, finally.
Yes.
You
Okay.
know
Well,
what I'm
let
saying?
me ask you this.
If we ain't felt enough pain, you know what I'm saying, and we still got a few runs in us, that's if we make it out alive.
Yes, that's
While
right.
we experimenting, you know what I'm saying? Pain eventually brings us to our knees. And then when, you know what I'm saying, we get sick and tired of getting sick and tired, then we ready to get some help. But until then, I'm telling you, the best thing my family could have did for me was put me out on the streets and make me homeless. That was the best decision they could have made. Because as long as they was helping me, as long as they was giving me money, as long as they was letting me use the car, as long as they was taking me back in, as long as they were doing any of those things, I was going to take advantage of that shit and didn't give a fuck. I was a cold-hearted assassin and gave no shits about it.
Yeah.
The best thing y'all can do is put their ass out. It sounds harsh, I know. Kick their ass to the curb and close the door. Because as long as we see an enabler, we sense it. It's like a tiger looking for prey. We sense all of that. We sense your love. We sense your care. We sense your worry, and we feed off of that. And we get whatever we can out of it just so we can get the next high. Kick their ass out, close the door until they feel enough pain. Then they'll come trying to get some help. That's the best advice I can give to families. Kick their ass to the curb.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Well, let me ask you this, just so people out here listening can understand exactly how this thing goes. So, how old were you when you started using those drugs? Because they getting younger and younger, Egypt. Trust me.
You know what's crazy? And that's true because I'm being honest on this show, right? Okay.
Yes.
So,
I want you to tell your story.
Yeah, I fucked a couple of like 18-year-olds when I was using, and they was more met out than I was. I was like, wait, they tweaking more than me. I'm like, damn, y'all starting out young. I didn't even start meth until I was like 31. I waited until I was good in season to get into drugs. You know what I'm saying? And these kids be like 17, 18, 19, full-blown T-heads. I'm like,
wow.
They know how to use a syringe better than I know how to use a syringe.
Wow.
They just go. And at first I thought that, because that's only who I was having sex with at first, I thought it was just like the whites that were into crystal meth. And then when the whites got boring, I started going to the blacks to have sex too, and they was just as it was in the black community as well. So it's circulating everywhere on both sides. They were saying it was just a white man's drug, but no, honey, everybody's using it, and it them crossed over into the gay scene.
Wow, are you serious?
Yeah, they call them T-heads now, and they're everywhere. It's in the gay scene. If you look on Facebook, you'll see people asking questions like, "Damn, does everybody do T now?" Because it's rising. It's rising. You got to realize that they already view us as gays as naturally sexual. So when you say, oh, well, crystal meth, aka Tina, aka Ice, aka T, is a sex drug, you know what I'm saying? We gravitate, we flock to it quickly. You know what I'm saying? Well, oh, let me see what this is about. Now, let me remind you, you can either snort it, you can either smoke it. I wouldn't advise that because your teeth is going to be undone after like 3-4 years. I mean, gone. I'm talking about yellow, gone, crusty, broken, gone, toothless. Or you can shoot it. I chose shooting it because you get the strongest feeling from shooting it. Instantly, sexual drive. And it only comes out in your piss and your shit. And you still get to keep your teeth. So I was, you know me, you know I'm very technical. I had to research it up real quick. And you see, I still got my teeth. You know what I'm saying? After 9 years of using it.
They look nice. I honestly didn't know that you could shoot it. I didn't know you could shoot it up. I didn't know that.
What it is, it's like a diamond form, and you just crush it up into powder, put it in a syringe, pour some water into it, and then shake it up until it melts. Shoot it in your vein, and then go. Fuck. And you be up fucking for days too. I'm talking about days. You're like, damn. You don't get no sleep when you do meth. And that's why you start looking, that's why your looks start fading. You lose the weight because you don't want food. Yeah. You just sexually active and you up for like 3, 4, 5, 6 to 7 days before you finally crash. Eventually that catches up with your face. You start looking torn down and yeah.
Because you're not getting any rest. Your body needs rest.
Period. Yeah. And you don't want no water either. So your body is sinking in. You losing your nourishment. You don't want nothing. You don't want food. That's gonna fuck up my high. Are you serious? Food? Are you crazy? And fuck this high up? No, ma'am. Damn. So it's crazy how we think. It's crazy. Absolute insanity.
So because we sharing information with the people, and this is definitely to help the people to understand, especially the people that got family members that may be, hooked on crystal meth, because a lot of people won't come out and tell your story. So I really commend you, and I sure do appreciate you coming and telling your story. So how long do a high last?
Crystal meth can last anywhere from 3 to 5 days.
What?
Yeah, you'll feel the effects of it. You're always horny. You never stop being horny. You're just horny for no fucking reason. It takes away your ambitions and your morals. So you fuck anybody. They can, like I said, they can look like Jabba the Hutt. You don't care. You just want to fuck. You just want to have sex. They don't even have to look attractive. That's how gone it has you. You just want to have sex. They don't even have to look good no more. You know how when you not using drugs or you just doing your weed, and let's say weed and liquor, because that's what's considered normal, weed and liquor.
Right.
And you go to the club, right? You looking all good, and you picking your one out in the club that look fine, that you might want to try to get the number you to spit your game to. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a certain kind of type. Not when you do meth. No, ma'am, Pam. You don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck at all. You just don't care. You know what I'm saying? And then once you cross that invisible line, you know what I'm saying, into addiction to where your body can't live without it, you know what I'm saying? It just becomes a continuous crazy cycle that never ever ends. And until you either lose crystal meth and crystal meth is also a hallucinogen. And so it causes you to think that things are going on that's not. You start accusing people of being after you. You start accusing people of talking about you when they were like, it could be, say you go to a sex party, because I went to a lot of those. People could be in a room having a conversation, and I'm thinking that they're in there plotting on me to do something bad to me. These motherfuckers wasn't worried about me. They just want me to take my clothes off.
Right.
They don't give up two shit. And I'm like, I hear y'all in there fucking talking about me, and then you know how my mouth used to be. You know how I used to. You add bad temper to drugs, and it was just a mess. It was a mess. They thought I was a psycho. They didn't care. They just wanted me to take my clothes off anyway. They was like, okay, as soon as we get done having sex, put his ass out. That's because, okay, cool.
Put the psycho out.
Put the psycho out.
Right, the real cute one.
Yeah. Real cute one. Get it in, get it out.
Right. So I am so thankful that you are back with us, Egypt.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to know that your mind was strong enough to go ahead and do what you had to do to change your lifestyle. Now, let the people know what you're doing today as far as to keep yourself healthy. Because like you already told us you're working out, but give us just, walk in your shoes throughout the week.
Um, I what they told me in rehab was to make sure you keep a relationship with God, make sure
Yes.
you go to your Narcotics Anonymous meetings, and make
Yes.
sure that you find a hobby and stick to the hobby that makes you happy. So I go to Bible study in church when I can. I
Yes.
read my Bible every day. I choose Narcotics Anonymous because those are other addicts that have been through the same thing I have been through. It's
Yes.
nothing like going in a room and you hear and people have done the same crazy things you've done. People have done the same psycho things you've done, have stolen the way you've stolen. We may have used different drugs, but we have the same storyline and we help each other. You can see, oh, they still coming, they still hanging in there. You know what I'm saying? And we listen to each other's hardships even while being clean. Hey y'all, look, this is what I'm going through today. You know what I'm saying? I got into it with my sister, and she accused me of using it. I got 2 years clean. Stuff like that is what we come in here and share about, and we see each other still hanging on, and that motivates us. Then when you
Yes.
see a new person walk in and say, "Hey, I need some help," helping somebody else helps us.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then my hobby is lifting weights. So
Yes. Come on.
I go to the gym 5 days a week, and I go to work 5 days a week, and I dedicate Sundays and Mondays to myself or making a meeting. So you know, and never forgetting where I come from. What it is y'all, I don't keep it a secret. I shout it on
Yes.
the mountaintops.
Yes.
I'm a
Come on
recovering
now.
addict. I'm a recovering addict. I'm a recovering addict. And I got four reasons down for you right here. I actually had some ready for you.
Okay.
Um, Number one, I call it getting out of social acceptability. You know what I'm saying? My disease and my habit trying to be ashamed of it. Like you can't tell people you used to use drugs because they might look down on you. You know what I'm saying? But I tell that thing to be quiet. I talk back to my disease and say,
There
shut
you
up.
go.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
Number one, y'all, it's a reminder and it keeps me grounded in reality that drugs kicked my ass and destroyed my life. So I
Mm.
say it everywhere I go, no matter where I am, no matter if it's a job, if it's a church, if it's on the streets, I say I'm a recovering addict. Number two, it's a warning to others that may still drink today or use drugs. Now, I don't judge nobody. If you drink, you drink. You smoke weed, you smoke weed. But this is to let you know out loud that these are lines. If I'm hanging with you, if I'm with you, I can't cross those lines. You can do what you can do, but
That's
I
right.
can't. And if you try to tempt me with it or tell me, oh, it's just weed or it's just drinking, then our hanging stops there. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I know that if I take a drink today, it's just going to lower my ambitions and make me go get what I really want to get. And so I don't even play with it. I don't
Yeah.
even joke with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still crazy when I hang out with y'all, so I'm still fun. You know what I'm saying? I just get virgin drinks. You know what I'm saying? I still go to the club here and there. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no friends in Orlando yet. So you know what I'm saying? Number three, you never know who is struggling behind the mask. I
Mm.
used to put my MAC makeup on and darken my eyebrows in because I thought nobody knew I was on drugs. I still tried to hold a job down. So I say it out loud at work and stuff like that, and because you don't never know who's struggling behind closed doors. People have reached out to me at my job. Other coworkers say, you know what, I hear you talking about recovery all the time, and I have a problem with coke. Or I have a problem with this, I have a problem with that. What can I do? And I tell them, I direct them to the meetings, and then they meet all the other people in there sharing about their story, and they see they're not alone. So or I tell them my story. I went to rehab twice. You know what I'm saying? So I was able to help, but you can't help if nobody ever knows what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So you open the door for people to say, I feel comfortable saying, hey, I have a problem. I heard you say you had one. How did you do it? And then the last one, when the desire to use was lifted, I became a tool or an instrument for God. He wants me to go get his sheep. You know what I'm
Come
saying?
on now.
He brought me out of that situation. So, you know what I'm saying? I can't keep it unless I look back and see somebody else struggling and pull them up too. And look, you can do it. I did it. You know what I'm saying? And I walk past homeless people sometimes. And I give them, and when they ask, I give them something because I was just there. I just don't know how to say no to them. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just there 2 years ago. But I always tell them, if I do give them some money, look, I was just doing this, what you're doing right here 2 years ago. I was just doing this. You can change. You can change. And so they look at me kind of like I'm crazy. They like, bitch, give me the money so I can go get my next one. But you know what I'm saying? And these are plants to see. So they look at me, they be like, you don't look like he was there 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So At least I tried. You know what I'm saying? That's all that matters. Not trying.
Yes. Well, listen, I want you to tell the people how they can get in contact with you if they need some form of support, because I know people be hitting you up, and or either, like you said, pulling you aside at work. Let them know how they can find you on social media if they need to follow you to stay motivated behind your story. And
sis, you wouldn't even believe it. Like, people on Instagram hit me up, friends that we know that you would never even believe have issues with that, stuff like that. And it just blows my mind sometimes. Like, you know what I'm saying? How much crystal meth, not alone. When we keep in mind, that's not the only drug. We got crack, we got heroin, we got Molly, and even the weed is laced with fentanyl today. So you got to be careful with all of that stuff. But when you say out loud, I'm recovering, I'm a recovering addict, it opens the door and makes people that much more comfortable to be able to say, how did you do it? Yeah. So I smile. Let me say something. Life shows up today still. Life still kicks me. I'm still learning how to gravitate through this thing called life. I got issues, but nothing gives me a reason to use it. I haven't found a good enough excuse to go use. So that's that. But y'all can find me on my Instagram. My Facebook is filled up. I think I got max friends on Facebook, but my Instagram is Egypt, EGYPT_V_S. So Egypt versus, but so EGYPT_V_S.
Okay. And when you go back on Facebook, it's somewhere in your settings, honey. Start a follow button. That way people can just start following you, because I just recently did that as well. And when you get full, people can just start to follow you.
I'm going to do that. Okay.
So for anybody out there that's listening that has struggled with addiction, still struggling with addiction, scared to come out with it, honey, all you got to do is just set your mind. Get help. Ask somebody that has been there. And here's one person right here that I know will give it to you straight up and lead you in the right direction, like straight up. Like he said, which place is free?
Salvation Army, always free.
Salvation usually Army. A Salvation Army is in every city.
Everywhere, they all over.
Yeah, so I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking 3 meals a day. And when you graduate after the 6 months, they guarantee you a job working for them.
Wow.
So not only do they reteach you structure and teach you how to stop using and stay stopped, they offer you a job after that. You're automatically guaranteed a job. And they got a church in the Salvation Army. So every Salvation Army got a church. They make sure you get your God on too. So it's awesome. I was just a little bit too ratchet. That's all. But you know what I'm saying? I'm still here today. So I remember they teach you. Like Roxy was saying, y'all. Like she was saying, don't be ashamed to say you need help. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody makes wrong decisions. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing to be ashamed of. You're worth it. You're worth it. Say you just stand up and say, I lost control of this thing. It was fun at first, but now my life is falling apart and I need help. You don't have to get to rock bottom like I was, hallucinating, talking to yourself on the streets and the homeless. Your bottom is when you stop digging. Is when you stop digging. You don't have to get to where I got to say, okay, I finally need some help. So if you feel like you have a problem, you know what I'm saying? Just say you need help. Just stand up. It's okay.
Yeah, you know one thing, you have wore a smile this whole time. Like, I'm so proud of you. Like,
thank you, sis. I love you so much. I miss you so much. We gotta hang out.
I'm coming to see you. I'm definitely gonna come and see you. And
I got a whole apartment now. You can come chill with me.
Yes, honey. And we're gonna have fun the grown folks way, because you know we have grown up now. You know,
I'm so excited to see what it's like hanging out as grown ups now. We still gonna rock the joint. Right? So that's it.
We still gonna have fun. What you thought? We're gonna still have plenty of fun and show.
Well, I thank y'all so much for having me on this show. This is fun. This has been real fun for me. I've never done nothing like this before.
I think you should go around and tell your story more often. Honestly,
I've never done nothing like this before. This was cool. So I really appreciate you and love you so much for asking me. This was fun, y'all.
I mean, let me tell you, let me just give you a little something what I got going on. I am working with different people behind the scenes because our younger generation, they are doing a lot of things that is not of God. We all have done things that are not of God, but baby, they hurting one another. They hurting one another. They are dying at an alarming rate. You know where I'm from? I'm from the woods. Where I'm from, the city this big, baby. It ain't down here, honey.
It didn't spread it down there too. I'm surprised that you guys don't hear about crystal meth there because I mean that's where it gravitates to the small neighborhoods, the small towns. It come there hardcore.
It's here. I know some people.
Okay.
I know some people.
Yeah.
However, I haven't had a conversation with them.
Okay.
I don't want to overstep my boundaries, so to speak, because like you said, you have to be ready. But I don't never judge people. Last time I saw somebody that I know. Matter of fact, I know them. And I made sure they seen me. I look at them like, because I'm thinking to myself, is that so-and-so? And I'm like, sure is. So I pulled up beside them and was like, hey, how you doing? I wanted them to see me and know that I see them. And I asked how they was doing. I was like, all right, well, if you ever need anything, just holler at me. Which, as far as I know, this person is still going down that road. But
I got the perfect solution for you.
What's that?
You know what I'm saying? You just say you go to them and say, hey, you know what I'm saying, and this is no disrespect, you know what I'm saying, but I love you, you know what I'm saying, and if you ever decide you need any kind of help, I know where to get it.
Okay.
I know where to get it.
To be honest, I didn't know the approach to do.
Tell them if they ever need any kind of help. You know what I'm saying? If it ever gets too out of hand, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I got people. I know where to go. Just come if you ever need me. I just want to let you know I love you. No judgment zone. But if you ever need help and get too out of control, I know where to go. I got you.
And see, this is so crazy. This is so wild because God is leading me so much into, just helping the community and helping stuff. I never thought that I would be talking to someone that went through this, somebody especially that I know and was like this with.
Yes.
So, baby, that makes it even better. Like, I feel so good about this right now because I feel like I can lead another charge. I can say, hey, I love you. And if you ever need some help, if it get out of hand, I know you can get help.
Yep.
See, I got it. I got it.
And then you know what it does? What that does, that seed is planted in their head, and they remember you saying that in their darkest times, and they keep it. We end up keeping it as a get out of jail free card. So then when it kicks our ass enough, we know that believe it or not, that moment is gonna come up in their head. They're gonna remember to come to you, and they're gonna be like, look, I finally need help. It may not be that day, that week, that month, that year, but they eventually come to you. They be like, okay, I'm ready.
Because in our community, we push. We don't give people a chance to tell their story, express themselves, or we make them feel so bad, about what they do.
If you come down hard on if they active and you come down hard on them, they're always going to resent or run or fight against you. They're never going to listen. So you have to, if you're trying to help somebody, you got to have an approach that's loving, that's caring, and letting them know that I'm not trying to force you to do anything you don't want to do. If you ever want the help, I know where to get it.
Okay.
Because if you say, hey, you need help, we're like, what? I don't need help. I'm good. I'm good. Don't you think I'm good? Yeah, I dare you suggest that I have a problem. As I'm about to debris off my nose. You know what I'm saying? I got a little snow band right here. How dare you? You know what I'm saying? So you gotta. It sounds like it's a lot to do, but it costs you nothing to just love. Your presentation is everything. There you go.
You're right.
Presentation is everything. So if you come like, hey, if you ever need some help, it's getting out of hand, I got you. You know what I'm saying? No judgment. It's better than, hey, I think you need some help. Let's have an intervention and tell him that we love him and he needs to get help. He's out of control. We're never going to listen to that. We're never going to hear that. We
ever listens to that.
Nobody. Yeah, we automatically block.
Yeah, nobody listens to that though. Even the children, the little babies, 2 and 3 years old, they don't listen to that.
Nobody.
You know them in a loving type of way. They don't listen to that.
Nobody does. Look, they told us not to date so and so. So we was little. We dated them anyway. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I go. They said he gonna break your heart, and guess what? We said fuck mom and daddy, and then he broke our heart. Mama, you was right. You was right.
You know how the story go. Well, this is what I'm gonna do. So at the end of this broadcast, everybody that's listening or that has watched, I'm going to go and research and find out where all the surrounding Salvation Army areas are in our area, and I'm also gonna put a link in the bio of this video. That way, if you need information, you can reach directly out to the Salvation Army themselves, because I know a lot of people sometimes want to go rehab, but they have a stigma where they feel like, hey, baby, I can't afford that. So once they feel like they can't afford that, then, honey, that's exactly what it is. They just don't worry about it. So,
My bad, I lost you. My bad, I'm bad.
Oh, okay, yeah, you good. But they be scared that they can't afford it. So they just be
all you need is a social security card and an ID, and you're in there.
Okay.
And if you don't have a social, they tell you how to get one real quick. You know what I'm saying? They it's always connections that help us, you know what I'm saying, addicts get what we need quick so we can get the help that we need. They got all kinds of places. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes most of the Salvation Armies, they're gonna let you in anyway, and then just tell you how to get it when you get in there. Okay, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna let you in, get you to bed, and then they're gonna tell you, okay, the next step is it's time for us to get you an ID and social. That's the first thing you need to do in life, is have at least those two things. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it sounds crazy, but even the best people, now keep in mind, I went to college. I was at Alabama State. Roxy tell you, I went to Alabama. I was intelligent. I am intelligent. But I lost all of those things. I lost basic human. I lost all of that. You know what I'm saying? I had to be retaught how to get an ID, how to get a social, how to do a resume. I had to learn all of that stuff all over again.
You lost all your basic skills of your intelligence that you had, because we all know that, honey. We have matter of fact, you the first person told me about Facebook. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that? You told me, you said, you should
drugs that have you out of your mind, not the same person at all. You know what I'm saying? And that's one reason it hurts your family, because they're like, why are you doing this to yourself? But they don't understand. We're caught now. We're caught in the grips of the addiction. We're caught in the grasp of it. And it's not letting us go. The enemy is strong. The enemy is using the drugs to take y'all out, to take us out. You know what I'm saying? And once he got you caught up, all he got to do is get your mind. You know what I'm saying? You lose your mind, he got you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened. I lost my mind and he had me. You know what I'm saying? All I could think about was the next one. So by the grace of God, I made it out there, and I ain't going back there, man. I have not found a good enough reason today yet to use, and life has kicked my ass in the last 2 years and 2 months. You know what I'm saying?
You're not going to find a reason, because that's not
going to find a reason. Not going to find a reason. It's no reason. People have died in my family. You know what I'm saying? I have lost jobs. I have gotten into people. My family have accused me of still using. They apologize though, but you know what I'm saying. That's just the jab that they still got. You know what I'm saying? When they ain't got nothing else, they'll use that one. You must be getting high again. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't hurt me today, because I know I'm clean. So I don't let that bother me. They apologize. All kinds of stuff I'm saying has happened. I tried dating for a second. And he said he didn't like my personality. I was too goofy. I was too, you know what I'm saying? I joked too much. And I just said, okay, well, you're not for me. And I never talked to him again. You know what I'm saying? People say I cut people off too quickly. No, it's just that I've been through so much that I don't have time for bullshit today. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to ever let nobody hurt me again. I've been through that hurt before, and that got me on drugs. So I just don't tolerate bullshit. But I have not found a good enough reason to pick back up dope. So that's why I'm appreciative to Narcotics Anonymous. That's why I go to my meetings at least 3 times a week.
Yes, and I'm so proud of you, brother.
Oh, can I say one more thing, sis? If y'all feel like you too scared or too ashamed or you're too nervous about rehab, on Zoom, they have Narcotics Anonymous meetings. Just check it out and go listen to people. If you don't want to say nothing or even say your name, just listen to other people's stories, and you can see you're not alone. You can hear from different other people's stories. And Roxy, since you're doing this thing now, you know what I'm saying? Tomorrow night, if you want to come on the one with me and just see how it works, you know what I'm saying, and listen, you know what I'm saying, you can listen or you can talk, whatever you feel, you know what I'm saying,
what
and just
time
to see how it's 8:00 every night.
You know that's the time my show start, right?
Okay.
What time do it end?
Like 10.
I can catch it right at 9:00, and
I'll get with you separately. I mean, I'm make sure I put my number. We'll give you my real phone number so we can talk outside the show.
Okay.
Right. But y'all, Narcotics Anonymous, they got meetings live. They got them Zoom, just in case you know what I'm saying, you a little bit shy right now, too shy to hug this guy. You know what I'm saying? They got it. You know what I'm saying? You don't gotta just go straight to rehab if you don't feel comfortable with doing that. But just try going to some place that you can hear your story being told, because I guarantee you're gonna hear your story. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see that you're not alone. Some of the things you've done, we've done. So it's cool.
And
that's all I got.
This is what I want to also tell the people. If you have been compelled by Egypt's story and you want to donate some furniture or something to him, contact me, let me know, and me and him will work something out. And because at the end of the day, I know how it is out there, honey. It's hard out there. You know what I'm saying? Even when you got yourself together, it's still not easy.
It's still hard, yeah.
If you've been compelled by Egypt's story, baby, we're going to help Egypt out, baby. So y'all get y'all coins together, baby. We is going to help him do some things.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah,
I love you too.
Yeah, you know how we do it. But see, I'm telling you, this is God. This ain't me. This is just me reaching out, trying to help other people, because I've decided that's what I want to do with my life. I want to help people.
That's awesome too. I told you, I've had so much fun. This was so fun. So if you ever want me to come back to be a guest again, let me know. I'm gonna come if y'all. If you do a little group thing, let me know.
Listen, I'm ready to travel the world to tell the truth. I want to.
Okay, well that's good. I'm down for the cause. We remember me and you used to travel anyway.
Yes.
Me, you, Miss Shine, all them jokers back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and thank y'all for listening to my story. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate you.
And we appreciate you for coming on. And we will definitely be talking again soon. And everybody, thank you for tuning in. And once again, you already know the slogan: Millionaire Pending. I'm your girl, B Brown, the Revolutionary. You know how we get down. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Love y'all. Bye.
Bye.